this truck comes in slowly into my lane and thinking I'll be able to brake emergency and let him come in. Sorry, not Denny Lu. Not this time, not today. And I honked. He's like, what the F are you doing, dude? He's driving a white old truck, whatever, it's super high jack up. And we come to a red light stop. He's like fucking angry man, like you douchebags or whatever. Fuck, I work in the fucking kitchen. I went to my trunk, I pull out this giant knife and I look at him in the rear mirror. I give him a smirk.
Yeah.
My knife.
It's crazy.
And then guess what? Guess what's after? He drives like a fucking baby.
Like a lamb
Fucking
on a
baby.
stick.
Yeah.
You know what? These guys need a lesson. These guys need to have some gangster to come to tell you, hey, stop fucking around. Yeah. There is a Taiwanese gangsters coming to your land. Yeah, but anyway, back to you.
It's Beer Friday, group of animators getting together to swap stories and see whose is better. And of course, drink some beer. Yeah, Beer Friday is finally here.
Hey, welcome to Beer Friday. I'm your host, Rich Johnson, and I'm here with...
I'm Brent Bouchard. Nice to see everyone. We got Denny Lu. He's part werewolf. We did not mention that. And we have Tzanko Tchangov. Did I say that right?
Tzanko Tchangov.
Tchangov.
Wow.
Tzanko, where are you from?
In Bulgaria.
So,
Denny, where are you from?
I'm from Taiwan, Southeast Asia. See, I came to Canada at the age of 23. I'm 47. You can do the math in between. And that's pretty much it. See you later. Bye.
So did you and your parents and everybody come over here?
Yeah, well, my dad's retirement immigration, that's when we came here. And I had a job in Taiwan as a graphic designer. And my dad was like, we're going to Canada. I'm like, yes, sir. You know, that's how we do it in Taiwan. So I had to learn English, struggle, and I couldn't join high school, so it's super tough time. 2 years, daily routine is I go to school, come back, eat, and memorize vocabularies. That's all I've done for 2 years. Wow. Until I got into Kwangtung College as a graphic design.
Right.
It's 3 years there. On my third year, I met a buddy who was in animation and school, actually. He's like, do you want to see my demo reel? I'm like, what is demo reel? I never learned that word.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he showed me I was like, okay, I was a graphic designer. Everything is posters, packages, and whatever. He showed me something. He was like, you can make pictures move. So that's something new for me. Yeah. I'm like, absolutely stunned for it. And I was like, okay.
At that time, was it computer animation or was it?
Paper, and then you film it.
Yeah.
It was. So he showed you like a line test?
He showed me the tape.
Right.
It was already a VC.
Right.
VCR. But I look at it, I was like, oh my God, maybe that's what I have to do.
Yeah.
So I took a summertime putting the portfolio together, applied for Capilano College.
How did you get a portfolio together?
So here's the thing. The reason why I can get a graphic design job out of the high school, I couldn't even get into college because my high school is specially trained. It's an art and trade high school.
Oh, interesting.
So for 3 years of time, I learned everything for the art world. Oil painting, pencil, charcoal, airbrushing. Only thing they didn't teach me is animation. And so I got into Capilano and I joined for 2 years. The best
Capilano, that's here in North Vancouver. Where was your first job?
2001, when I graduated, was the biggest dip of animation industry in Vancouver.
It was the biggest dip in all jobs in BC.
I heard that people around that time, it was like a year where there was just nothing.
Yeah,
right?
Seriously.
Yeah.
So there's only like 3 students in my college, in my class, found a job. And then, of course, I got nothing. I'm not the most talented guy ever. And then, so I was trying to apply Superstore and everything. I heard nothing back.
Yeah, it was hard to get a job at that point. It was
Yeah.
really tough.
So the only thing I can find, which is very amazing, is dish washing, just to pay the bill, right? But I did that. And then I'm proud of it because I go into dishwashing, I do my job. Soon enough, I got promoted to be a sous chef.
What was your first job?
First, actually, it's at Studio B. And what I do is I start really from the ground up. I pencil clean up on backgrounds. And
What project was that on?
What About Mimi?
Okay.
And then that's the time you're doing this giant pen on this super slick paper.
Yeah.
Feather lines on everything. And I was getting paid so low.
Yeah.
But I work overtime and try to impress everybody, right?
Yeah.
But that was it, pretty much. And then after that, it's done. I got nothing. So I did a test for pork and beans, and that's for yakety yak. That's when the real job coming. So I did a test. I passed. I didn't do well enough to be an animator. So I was like just builder and posing, which is a good experience. Payback later. Anyway, so I finished that job, and then I got hired to Bardell for Mucha Lucha. Yeah, I remember Mucha Lucha.
These are the early Flash shows.
Very early 2002.
One of the first Flash shows around.
Yeah, one of the first Flash shows.
This is when you guys were like establishing the pipeline.
Yes.
Like how to use
And
Flash for
B-net.
TV animation.
Well, that's crazy because like the only education at that time for Flash was like web design, wasn't it?
No.
Flash was like Joe Cartoon and stuff like that.
Remember that super racist cartoon on website called Mr. Wong?
Yeah.
So bad. Right? Mr. Wong coming here, and then it's like these super flashy, like this old.
That was like the height of bad internet Flash stuff, and that's kind of what everyone thought Flash was. But then you guys with Yakety Yak and
Being Ian.
This is when I started, and I saw what you guys were doing with that, and I was like, oh shit! It opened my eyes. I was like, oh, Flash can look good, or or any sort of symbol-based animation. At the time, that was the only thing. It wasn't Harmony. But
No, just think about the crew that we were at. Being Ian, not talking about Yakety Yak, but even Yakety Yak too. Everyone in that crew at Pork and Beans, they're directors and supervisors
Currently.
And then at for the Being Ian crew, where we're at, which is smaller crew at Studio B, everyone is a director in that room, pretty much. And then like animation director or director. And that's what you mean. Like that's what you see is like some people did a really good hiring job. They're hiring us to be in that room. And then these guys have potential to be a bigger guy.
Well, and you guys were all figuring it out, and there was a healthy competition between.
Oh my god!
And sharing too.
Yes.
Figure something out. Like, dude, check this out.
Exactly. You never see that happen again. Everybody put their headphone on. See you later.
It was crazy. Like me and Chris Musica, who was a former guest on this, and this guy Jeff Bolt. We were all coming in and we were doing training for Flash while this was happening. Like we were getting trained on Flash. They were just giving us some dummy scenes, and we were sitting in that room when you guys. This was at Studio B where they were working on Yakety Yak. Half of the shows were done at Pork and Beans. Half of them were at Studio B.
Yeah.
And it was that room, and there was a bunch of seasoned animators doing their thing, and people would someone would figure something out and go, hey guys, and then everyone would stand up and go, look at this thing, you could do this with that, and check this out, and whatever. And then I was like, oh fuck, I had no idea. And I was seeing this all happen in real time, and I was like, this is a crazy time to be. Like, I didn't know shit because I was just learning how to like do a bouncing ball at my desk at the time.
Yeah, you're so talented.
But that was like, I was trying to get my brain around, because I knew how to
the shortcuts
work paper, but I didn't know how to do anything,
Yeah.
But I was watching all this happen, and I was like, holy shit.
But I had to say, that's the best time as an animator to be in that best environment to be explore your potential.
It was very collaborative.
It's like it's like you have 100% potential. They explore you like a lava, like a volcano in Hawaii, 200%. You're exploring because people are feeding back on what you have,
Yeah.
and everybody is doing this.
And you could see someone is doing a scene, and then people would gather around and go, "Oh shit, he's doing that," and then someone else would get on their desk and try to one up him a little bit,
Yes.
and there was that going on,
Yeah.
and that maybe doesn't happen anymore.
No, it never
It
happens
was
again.
the discovery.
Yeah.
The discovery of it. And it all.
Yeah.
Right? Discovering these new things. It's like, dude, check this out. I figured how I can do this if I do this.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is the best
Yeah.
thing ever. I've been trying to figure this out for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So-
What was
Also-
your first show?
My first show in Vancouver.
Yeah,
Well, let's rewind back.
actually, yeah,
Tell us your whole
yeah.
story.
Rewind back to mid-90s. Bulgaria is still very communist. At the time, things are kind of crackling up and they're letting some people kind of exit the country.
Yeah.
At this point, my mom gets a job with the Bulgarian embassy in Washington, D.C. And coincidentally, at the same point, my dad is teaching in Scotland, sort of at the same time.
Yeah.
So mom pretty much kind of takes the decision on her own that she's like, I'm going there. I'm taking my 10-year-old brother at the time with me. I'm taking this job, and you guys figure it out. You know, and
Yeah.
if you want to come, please do come there. You know, you'll be supported, and then, you know, your dad can figure his way there eventually. So kind of thing.
Oh
So,
wow! So you guys were really separated, like for a while.
Plan like your mom was
In
like, you're either
common.
coming to DC or you're gonna hang out and when your dad gets back from Scotland, you're living here.
Or I can, you know, I could have had the choice of staying in Bulgaria and having like a 2-bedroom apartment,
Right.
running a VW car.
Right.
So this is sort of happening still in the breakup of the whole communist era, which sort of leaving the country at this time was, you know, unthought of. Like it was a very hard process. But as things were kind of crackling, you know, my mom decided to go to Washington, D.C. and sequentially I followed. Then I somehow get into this school without walls high school because this is happening in December, so they wouldn't let me into sort of the regular program.
Oh, so you were still in high school? Shit! So you had to leave all your friends and
Yeah, it was a big thing, right? Because
Yeah.
when you were 18, you had just got a grasp of life. So right back to Washington, D.C., I get into school without walls. So I'm walking into this with some written English, some reading kind of comprehension, but very little sort of verbal skills, really. I can figure out what they're saying, but when I'm talking back, like people take quite a few times to sort of figure out what I'm saying. Well, I've never spoken English, but sort of trying to communicate what's in your head out was like it was a big gap, right?
Tell me about it.
Yeah. Same experience, very similar.
English is my first language, and I don't have a firm grasp on it.
So from there, how did you go to college or?
I did 4 years of college in Washington, D.C. in the Corcoran School of Art and Design. It was a small museum school. It was basically,
Is that in DC?
it would sit the basement of the Corcoran Museum.
Hmm.
I had great teachers, and, you know, being a small school, they kind of nourished well, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to do animation. They're like, all right, well, here's a Super 8 camera, and here's a clicker. You know, maybe you can figure something out. And I'm like, all right, this is great. And so they nourished whatever you wanted to be kind of in. You know, you want to be into painting, go into painting. You want
cool.
to do this.
But you knew animation.
I didn't know animation. Like I would be.
But you knew what you
picking up-
want.
Yeah, and I'll be learning from whatever books or any other
That's
sort of
amazing.
things you can pick up on, right? And all you really needed to figure, what I really needed to figure out was sort of the triggering thing. So
Yeah.
in college, you end up having this setup.
So you were fucking around with stop motion.
yeah, stop
first
motion,
off.
like on Super 8mm film, which
Cool,
at
cool,
the
cool.
time was still being hard to develop, right? Because it
Yeah.
was being
Yeah.
outed by all the digital media that was coming in.
So when you were doing stop motion, did you do like claymation? Did you do paper? Were you moving puppets around?
Sand animation.
It was like a experimentation of all the above. Then you kind of end up building these like sort of sets of like found parts and crap like that. And
So you started in web design in New York.
yeah, web design in Europe, but also right, the animation love was still there, and Flash kind of appeared. And what is it, like Flash 4 or something like that? It was a neighbor who was like, dude, check this out.
4 or 5, yeah.
Sort of the Flash introduction was so
Yeah.
beautiful. What you wanted was a fucking timeline and something I can draw
Yeah,
with.
yeah,
and
yeah.
It gave you that. So, and this is right around the time of the frog in the blender.
Yeah, the Joe cartoon
Yep.
stuff. Yeah.
Mm.
So what brought you to Canada then?
So at this point, I sort of do this worldwide application with whatever my portfolio was at the time,
Yeah.
try and get a job. Like any job from Australia to Scotland, any animation job I can find, I applied for.
Mhm.
And Fat Cat kind of was one of the few places that responded, which was in Newfoundland.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was out east somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what was your first job here?
KVK.
Whoa!
Kid versus Cat.
Wow,
Oh, yeah, cool.
that's a good project.
Revisionist. Yeah, no, it was the best time. I loved the time I came into Studio B.
And
It's
you were
not my studio.
drawing at that point, like doing storyboards at that?
No. It was I came in as an animation revisionist.
Oh, okay.
I was out of I came basically to Vancouver for VFS, and also throughout my worldwide search, I sort of had noticed that there were a lot more Flash jobs coming to Vancouver.
How did you go from animation revision to storyboards?
I haven't quite made the full-on transition into storyboarding. I haven't had like a storyboard in a commercial setting completed.
But you're doing storyboard revisions now after
I have
animating
been-
for
yes,
10 years.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Going from 10 years of animation to boards, how, like, do you miss animation, or do you never go back,
You
or is
still
this kind
want
of, you're just trying to expand yourself to have more opportunity?
I love animation. Bringing life to an animate object or a piece of paper kind of scenario, like that's always been a big
It's magical.
magic there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you fucking like? I still remember the moment. Oh fuck! This is happening like second, third grade kind of thing. My best friend showed me how you can kind of roll a piece of paper, kind of fold it, and then you draw a
Right.
little drawing on one side, and you can do a draw
Like a flip book?
Yeah, well, it's a 2-page flip book, and then you kind of take your pencil and you kind of
Oh, yeah.
flip around it. I remember that magic that
Yeah.
I saw my fucking drawing move, and that spark still lives. So I still love animation, but the thing that I've noticed is there's been a lot of board artists who do not know how to animate. So you end up with these boards who are unnecessarily heavy on the animation side when things could have been solved in the board stage much easier if you kind of had spent, like, say, 2 months in the ditches doing symbol-based animation.
Yeah.
Right. So you can approach a board differently because you know where the end result's going to be and what the work entails to translate that board to animation.
I think it kind of helps me be like editorial in a way where it's like, okay, I need to get from point A to point B.
I think that's
From
smart.
an animation standpoint, what would be the easiest sort of art to get there versus like from a storyboard artist who, might not have to animate it, somebody taking a coat off, putting it on a hanger for no particular story point.
Cool.
So,
man.
I mean, absolutely, I'm looking forward to getting a bit more into boards. Like the last situation I was in was very much what Denny was describing, where I had a peer I look up to, Woody, and I was just assisting him in sort of the board supervision position that he was in. So there was a lot of learning, and he would take the time out of his day to be like, all right, well, here's how this can get better. Here's your grid, and here's what this can use a bit more of or a bit less of. And I really love this stuff because for me, it's still a learning process, and I like it when it comes from somebody I kind of look up to.
Yeah, that's cool. I popped by a place called Electric Bicycle today, down by, I'm going to say Manitoba and
5th.
4th or 5th.
Yeah, 5th.
Yeah, really cool place. Very colorful mural outside. I snapped a photo of it.
Sweet
We'll,
ass.
we'll put it up on the social media. So I grabbed a growler of the Broken Jet Ski Wheat ISA. This is actually the only one today that I could get in a growler, so I didn't have a lot of options. But I did sample it. It tasted pretty good. It's kind of like a fun summery. It's kind of like that fruity beer you brought. I forget what that was called, but
It's the grapefruit beer.
right.
Nice, like a Radler.
But I asked the dude, I was like, what's an ISA? And he said it's an India Session Ale, which sounds like a made-up title because
It sounds hoppy. Whenever there's an
Well,
ISA or
India,
IPA,
yeah.
I think.
But
hoppy.
it wasn't too hoppy when I tasted it. I don't have the stats on the IBUs on this or anything, but
Well, let's. You know what?
why don't we get into it, right?
We've done this enough.
Yeah.
I think we can all guess what the IBU is. Let's
Yeah,
just-
oh, yeah.
and let's all guess, and then whoever's closest wins at life.
Yeah.
Okay, so this beer is pretty good.
It's a little cloudy. It looks like like guava juice or something like that. So
the
yeah,
grapefruit beer combination for me is a high peak of beer making.
it's not that hoppy, right?
No, I would say I guess it's like
10, 15.
That's a 35.
I'm gonna say 28.
So it's a scale of like 150 is like as high as it can go, right?
Whoa!
Oh, I never tried that.
That's a made up thing.
It's a grapefruit rattler, no?
5% sort of beer.
Yeah,
It's not a rattler. This is just like a cloudy summer.
yeah.
Very easy drinking beer. I have to
Yeah.
say, this is a smooth. When you put it into your mouth, it goes down just like a nice week.
We were talking about this a few episodes ago about like what's a session ale, and I think what we came up with was just it's something you can drink a lot of.
Yes.
You know.
It's
Without getting
easy-
super
it's
wasted.
easy.
So it's like you sit down in the backyard, you kill one of these,
Yes.
and you're good to go.
Here's my contribution to the brewery company around that Olympic Village area. We go to live drawing and basic inquiry with Tzanko and Tim Ma. And then the point is, the best thing I love is we go live drawing, we draw for 3 hours, and we go for beer.
Oh,
Nice.
Story time.
Any funny stories about being in the army?
No, you know what?
Nope, standard issue.
Yeah, you know what? I had so much funny stories because I'm hired as a clerk. I'm in charge of vacations. So people come to me, it's like, Danny, can I get a vacation, please? And then they buy me stuff, and then I'm equal as ever as right now. Like I don't take bribes or I don't take anything. As you guys know me, straight as forward. And then which I'm lucky. So I have an office with 3 other clerks. That's it. 3 positions with 3 offices. But I'm in charge of the vacations.
When you're in the army, you get to take vacation?
Yes, you get to take a
Because I
vacation.
would be like, oh, there's a war starting. I need a vacation. I'm taking
You gotta get laid.
I'm going to take my 2 weeks right now.
No, when there's a war happening, that is your vacation.
Yeah.
You get a free trip.
I'm taking charge of everybody's vacation, even the higher ranking officers above me. I'm in charge of everybody in my unit as a vacation supervisor. And you know what I do? Like I had the best time in half of my career in army. It's like I get to ride motorcycles, go to see. It's like we're in a little town, of course, and then we go to see like shitty porn movies.
St. Ingrid, are you there?
You know what's the best is I can come back. I have my higher ranking professor's stamp because I'm in charge of Clark at vacation. So I can come back. I can come back anytime I want. I can change the time.
You're basically like HR.
Ultimate HR.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Shooting lessons, I never miss one session. I love shooting.
He's a sharp shooter. You should see Danny shoot. I've seen Jen.
Yeah, no, we are modified M16 machine guns from Americans back to Taiwan, and we can do 1 bullet, 3 bullets, or continuous bullets mode. My best record shooting is the bar, the paper with the man on top, 150 meters, and the bar comes back. I'm in the head of the guy, and it looks like a clove of St. Patrick's. But I still have the badge with me up to date. Machine guns, which we hang on top of the tank. The giant bullets, the bullets of your dick size. That's pretty much it.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, you can say that again.
Jesus.
But that's where series come in. But we went to practice war,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, okay, can I drive this shit? Let me try. And then you know what? How easy it is? Remember how you do?
You can go through a tank with those.
Remember how you do the remote control cars when you're a child?
Sure.
And that's how you drive a tank. Seriously. There's 2 joysticks. Move forward, you move forward. Move backward, you move backward. And then how do you go left? You tweak the left one,
Back
and then you go
forward.
You go left,
Right.
you took the left one, and then you go right. That's it. The whole analogy.
Really, eh?
Yeah.
Cool. Lou, what do you got, buddy?
This is the toughest time of my career on Georgia Jungle because I was first time being put up to be a supervisor. Working with Kevin Gamble, I was
And Kevin Gamble was the producer.
producer, and then I was build supervisor. I was a layout supervisor, and then 4 months later, I got promoted to be an animation supervisor.
All in the same project.
All in the same project.
So you basically worked on every department.
Yeah. And then not the best learning experience ever.
Mm.
And then Kevin Gamble, that's what it is. My wife is working with him right now. And he appreciates what a good team will put up, right? In a way that no one...
And he gives you back. Like, Kevin pays you back for what you put in.
Yes. They make you feel appreciated.
Mm.
That they give effort, which is hard to get in this right now.
Especially when they're taking a gamble on a new supervisor.
But anyway, so what I did is 7 months of time. I was coming at 6:30 a.m. and I'll leave at 3 a.m. for 7 months
Well, that's crazy.
until
You fucked it up, Denny! You fucked it up for all of us!
Yeah.
wrong. Chris Bottleman comes to the elevator with me, and he put his hand. I'm a fucking nobody, right? The owner of the house comes and sits in the elevator. Is like, put his shoulder on me. We're getting you a helper. But that's after 7 months. But I was young. I was
You just had to get shit
dedicated.
done.
I was dedicated to do a good job. That's what it is.
You
right?
got stretched.
Yeah, pretty much.
But they noticed.
Yeah, there we go. That's
Because
what
your
it-
pants were down.
Yeah.
But you know what?
And you were bending over.
Maybe not low enough. Because you know what?
Sounds like it was low enough. They got you a helper.
Dana. But
I love Dana.
Dana Smith.
Oh,
He
wicked.
comes in, handle everything. I'm like, how do you do it? He comes in at 8, leaves at 6, handle his episodes, and I still staying super late. I don't know how to do it. But anyway, later on, I learned. Okay, that's when you learn like, okay, here's a big picture.
Mhm.
These are the scenes you should let go, and these are the scenes you should focus on and put more time on it. And that's a good lesson learned.
So it was a learning curve of how to digest it all.
Yeah,
as
to be a
supervisor.
supervisor, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I have to say, this is a good story, actually. I was an animation director at My Little Pony. They always need help on the layout supervising, so I would jump over to layout supervising. So I jumped to this team, the layout supervisor went to Japan and left me like a bunch of junk that not taken care of. So the crew is so stressed from the previous supervisor who writes them essays of notes, like just putting them down in a way nobody appreciated and whatever. So I come in, I'm like, hey guys, we're gonna do this together. Together is the key. Not just me giving you revisions, but together. So I told them I'm doing
We're in this shit together.
together. Hey, friendship is magic. That crew was 3 weeks behind schedule. I come in for 2 months. I got them a free day to go all camping together.
Nice.
I did it.
You're because you're the vacation guy.
So here's the thing. Like, I kind of wanted to talk about entering the animation industry in Vancouver when I did, which was Studio B at the time, full-time gig in the industry. Like, up to this point, I've had a few sort of freelance gigs. Like, I did a few things for Oprah, 30-second bumper kind of things that will like insert to sort of
Like motion graphics or
semi. They were all based on fashion. They were like, hey, here's these jeans. Like, you want skinny jeans, you want fat jeans, you want fashion jeans, you want high jeans. Hey, here's the jeans for you. And there was like a sort of a 30-second segment, right? Or like they just needed little bumpers to sort of like segment things in between. And they had these like fashion bits. And I consider my first animation professional job being an animation revisionist on KVK. So my first boss was Emmett. Like, I just kind of walked in.
Emmett.
Oh.
I love sort of walking into Studio B the time that I walked in because there was the claps, man. Like, you're on the floor and all of a sudden everybody's fucking clapping and you don't fucking know why, but you're fucking clapping.
And people playing music on the ding 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 ding, doing all that shit.
And there was dogs walking with Erica Pitt's hats on.
Yeah.
There was lots of peers like that I still look up to. It was a great, lovely time. What was the game? Like the World War II
Call of Duty.
Yeah, Call of Duty. Like so basically you struggle to get your fucking work done by
we
4.
We love killing each other.
Oh, it was the best. Like you get your shit done by 4 p.m. so you can fucking kill Denny Lu.
Call of Duty would start out.
Yep. And then in the midst of it there was like the clappings that would be started by somebody. Like initially it would be Denny Lu by far, but like at one point it was just sort of these random waves of claps that somebody was like clap, 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 and the whole floor.
And once in a while, there'd be like a slide whistle, like.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Wow, that was a good one from Brent.
And I think it kind of relates back to the whole sharing thing. Like, you know, we were still sort of discovering things. You know, there was the older generation that had kind of figured out things. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of coming in with the newbies.
Right.
But there was a lot of sharing. Like, it was like, oh, dude, check this out. Like, you can achieve this a lot easier if you just kind of shortcut this and this and this and that. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Like with the clapping and the whatever, like in that someone has a noise machine and the slide whistle, and it was just for a few minutes, but it was a little bit loud for a second.
And then you talk to your neighbor, and you're like, dude, I got a fucking problem. What do I fucking do? And this is not a problem, man. You click this button. And you're like, thank you.
Snack time.
Yeah, so for snack time, what I got was it's a Pillsbury pizza, and it's small enough to heat up in a toaster oven.
Wow.
And thing is, like, here's the deal. I've got kids. We do pizza Fridays. We used to use the oven, and you got to preheat it, and then put the whole pizza in the oven, and whatever, and it takes forever. But literally, this thing, you just turn the toaster oven on, and it's small enough to fit inside, and you can cook a little pizza. It's a little shitty pizza, but
it's not.
It's a beautiful pairing.
It's a
good little snack, and the kids like it. It's a kind of sweet sauce. It's like totally for kids, you know. But
and for beer drinkers.
But it's a good beer snack too. And if you're just sitting around watching a movie, you just put one of these on. You just cut it down in half, and you just give one half to your wife, and you take the other half, and you're done.
Wow.
But we're currently getting the 3x3s, which is a better cutting.
I just say the way you kind of downplay your super fantastic pizza here,
right?
In the personal oven.
This is not his. This is just dad's skills, man.
Yeah, this was purely just so the kids could eat something.
I just say, and
then I was like, "Oh, these are all right. I'll eat this."
As an adult,
absolutely,
this is absolutely sensational in my mouth. Mm-hmm. Like this is.
Kind of buttery.
This is a proper pizza supposed to be.
But this is a kid's pizza.
Having
just so we're all on the same page. Like, this is a sweet crust kid's pizza. And I love it.
Yeah, it pairs great with a beer, I gotta say.
Yeah. We could be eating like melted cheese on a shoe, and we'd be like, this is great.
Favorite thing.
So, favorite thing. It's a show my wife Rebecca and I have been watching. It's on the CBC. It's called back in time for dinner. It grabs a family. It's a family of a mother and a father and 2 daughters and a son. And basically a crew comes into their house and renovates their house. And the first decade that they start, they renovate their place to function like it's 1940s. So their whole kitchen is put back into appliances from the 1940s. They're only allowed to use food from the 1940s. The war is happening right now, so they're on the Canadian food rations system. Like you're using like organ meats and stuff like that because all the good food's getting sent overseas to the soldiers. So they have to deal with like kidneys and weird things. And they got the recipes from the 40s, and they're also applying like the social roles of the 40s too. Like the wife's doing all the cooking, the daughters are maybe helping with the dishes, the son and the dad are just fucking off doing whatever they want because it doesn't matter. Like they're just smoking in the living room or whatever. And then so they do that for a week. So it's like the 40s happen in a week, and then the next week is the 50s, and then they go in and they remodel their house again. The whole decor, the kitchen, the living room is all the 50s now, and any implements now like new whatever, like new implements in kitchen gadgets that the 50s would have, like they get those now, and like eventually, and then they go through the 70s, and then you get the dishwasher and the blender, and then in the 80s and you get whatever. A super cool social experiment, and it was like really kind of cool to see these recipes and how social economic stuff went on, and it was cool. We enjoyed it.
I love kidney.
Yeah, we found it on the CBC streaming site.
That's pretty awesome.
Anything they release as a show, you can watch. Yeah, you might have to watch a commercial here or there, but it's not too bad.
Here's the funny thing. The program I want to introduce this is Korean Korean program on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's called Chef in My Fridge. I had to watch the whole series twice, reading subtitles. You know why the program is so good compared to all other like Utterly Delicious? Also, what was it? The Chef's Table.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're all high-end programs. Wait until you watch this Korean program called Chef in My Fridge. And that's where entertainment comes in for the food channel. So they invite 2 guests into this program.
Yeah.
And there are 8 chefs sitting in the room. They go to the 2 special guests' home, bring their fridge,
Their house.
the live action studio. And so they're not prepared. They just go there to grab it, they come to it, and then they open the fridge, introduce what it is, whatever leftover they have, whatever. They're celebrities, right? So they have fancy ingredients. So the 8 chefs are
fancy ketchup.
So they introduce the two guests, 1 guest at a time. It's like an hour each. Okay, so they interview the first guest, like what does he like, and then what does he doesn't like. So the chefs are taking notes, the 8 chefs taking notes from whatever ingredients from the fridge, and what it is like. So the 2 chefs would be assigned. I think every guest is assigned to request 2 dishes, and every dish is compete with 2 chefs.
Okay. So they go, hey, I want to eat this, and then 2 chefs compete.
2 chefs compete, and then they cook right in front of the guest, and then all the other chefs for 15 minutes. But you know what? Until you see how they do it, and that's how a real chef cooking. But Chef in My Fridge, check it out. It's such an entertaining food
where
channel.
can I find that? Netflix?
Netflix.
Oh, really, eh?
Yeah,
So where do you find that show?
Netflix.
Netflix.
We just talked about that.
Yep.
That's good. I can say that one more time. Netflix, Chef in My Fridge. Go watch it.
Welcome to Beer Friday Podcast, sponsored by Netflix.
So my favorite thing is a new show called, or it's not a new show, it's in its 5th season. It's called Alone. And it's these...
Dude, I know Alone.
Like, it's the best Survivor show I've ever watched. It's so addicting because these guys are all professionals. They have some kind of education in surviving in the middle of nowhere. But they all have different backgrounds. Some of them from the United States. Mostly just, it's all just either American. I think it's mostly just Americans, actually. but there's not really. Maybe there's a couple
There's
Canadians on it.
one or two Canadians, but
Yeah,
but I agree. Like everyone needs to know how to start a fire from nothing
Yeah.
with wet wood and all that other thing. Like they're not just people who are set up to fail; they're actually survivalists.
Mm. And they're allowed to bring a certain amount of items too, which is interesting. So they have a backpack, they have their clothes, they pick everything, and there's a certain amount, and there's like on the website there's a list of stuff that they're allowed to bring, and they have to abide to the laws of the land. So in Mongolia, it's illegal to shoot a deer, but you can use a bow to kill one. So a couple of them have bows and know exactly what plants they could pick. So they're all like foragers, and so it's very educational. Like you watch this and you see them survive, and that's why I love the Vancouver Island ones, because I'm from there. It's interesting to see, like, oh man, if I was trapped in the forest, like how would you survive? And you're watching these people actually do it for like 65 fucking days.
And as I watch it, I go, I know what I would do. I would just get eaten by a bear really fast.
And they're actually getting pretty good shots with GoPro cameras and stuff.
Like it's an awesome show. Like
yeah,
it's bare bones and it's real.
Yeah.
And I loved it, man.
There was this one guy where he was eating pine tree. There's nutrients in pine, so if you cut it really thin, you can suck on it, like chew on it and eat it. And he was eating the fucking tree, and that's all he ate for like 20 days or something. And he got so constipated.
Well, he had to basically poop out a tree.
So there's bears, there's wolves, and you can hear all the wolves around them. Like it's freaky.
Yeah,
and
everyone has a satellite phone on them, so if the shit goes down, you can hit a button, bop, 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 and a helicopter will come and get you. But it might take them 4 hours to find you.
Yeah.
The thing that fucked me up about the show too was that there's 10 people. Everyone is there doing their own thing. No one knows how everyone else is doing. So you're there. You're just surviving as long as you can. You don't know if there's one person left or if all 10 are still there.
Yeah.
So it's a psychological game that way. Like you could be on day 60 going, is it just me or is it all 10? I don't fucking know.
And that's what's so cool about it, is because none of them give a shit about the money. It's all about
the one.
I want to see how long I can fucking last.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one-on-one. And there in the first couple seasons, there was dudes that were like, they built a home. And that is when it gets cool, because they're like, whoa, they built a fireplace, they built a fucking
chairs.
home, they made a chair, they're getting bored.
Yeah, it's a community.
And they're bored, so they're building pulley systems and things. And like,
that's wild.
That leads into my favoriteest thing of all, which is taking the motorcycle out into the boonies, one-on-one with nature, and hanging in a hammock over a park. Very recently, I got introduced to this beautiful waterfall spot up the Squamish Valley Road. So it's a dirt road, you kind of go on for a few hours, and then you end up at this beautiful spot with a waterfall, and there's a river by, and there's a few spots around. There's this fire pit that's kind of raised off the ground, and I end up there with a motorbike, like a JLR6.
Just by yourself?
Just by myself with, a few hot dogs and some Cliff Bars and a hammock.
Guys, thanks for coming on. If you have anything online you want to plug, now's your chance. Denny, any social media sites you want to...
Twitter, Fruit of the Lu.
Fruit of the Lu.
And
are you on Instagram?
Fruit of the Lu.
Fruit of the Lu, Instagram. Got it.
No, if you want to find Tzanko, just find a waterfall in the middle of nowhere. You might find him there.
Yeah.
Campfire and a hammock. No cell phone.
You're of the... Just quickly, like, if you want to get a hold of him, you just...
Call Brent.
You just tell him where you're going to be, and he'll be there.
Generally, I'll be there. Yeah.
You know.
There's ways to get a hold of me. I'm on the computer, all the time, so I can be reached on...
But how often do you check your email? Like, you're better off, like, if I want to get a hold of you, I'll call you on your home phone.
Well, a message on the home phone could take about, a week. We're talking.
Right.
Does your wife have a cell phone?
We have a flip phone that we do share. It's mostly hers, but whenever I go
for
on,
business,
no smartphone.
But for example, I wanted to get together with him last minute a few weeks ago for a drink. So I emailed him and called him, left a message, and he showed up. It worked. So he's reachable.
Hey guys, vacation guys falling asleep.
How do I hashtag this tweet?
Hashtag Beer Friday podcast.
It's Beer Friday, Beer Friday. Group of animators getting together to swap stories and see whose is better. And of course, drink some beer. Yeah, Beer Friday is finally here.
A lot of blackberries,
Yeah,
Amish.
blackberry is scary.
Yeah.
They don't care about who the fuck you are. They will attack you.
No, you're thinking of grizzlies.
Grizzlies are the good kind.
No, you know,
Grizzlies are assholes.
yeah. But you know what you have to do when you see a black bear or a grizzly bear?
Tell me.
Take out your knife. Give him a look.